All right, Frank Warren here today at the launch press conference for Joe Joyce against Carlos Takam. Dangerous fight.
It is, but look, Joe's had, 12 fights now? It's a very dangerous fight when you think about this guy's fought for a world title and went 7 rounds with Joshua, and more importantly, the public know what he comes to fight. I mean, it's not like he's a no slouch here, come and give him a good test, but he's he wants it. It's a fight that he wanted. We looked at a number of opponents, and this is the one he wanted to go with.
You look at the posters as well behind you. I mean, this guy looks like he's never skipped a session in his life. There's a lot at stake here. I mean, he could really take Joe Joyce's spot.
Well, exactly right. At the moment, Joe will be the mandatory. Once they announced the Joshua and Usyk fight, he then will become the mandatory for the WBO, so he can't afford to slip up. He's got his place at the top table, as I keep saying, and now he wants to stay there, and he can't let Takam be a bump in the road.
So he does become mandatory. He beats Takam, gets ordered to fight the winner of Joshua against Usyk. Which fight? Well, I was going to ask you what fight you'd prefer. Obviously, Joshua. It's a huge fight. How would you rate Joe Joyce's chances against Anthony Joshua?
Look, he's had 12 fights, but he's done everything that's been asked of him, and he's fought really good, good opposition. He's not. I mean, you look at him compared with most guys who turn pro. He's fought good quality. His experience. He's older because of the fact he turned pro quite late. He's won a silver medal in the Olympic Games, and again, you've got to look at the experience that he got to be able to do that. More importantly, I like to look at the condition he's in now. He's not overweight. He was carrying a bit of timber on him for some of those fights. Now he looks as lean as anything, so I think that's going to make his mobility better. He's got a good jab, he's got a good chin, and he can whack. So moving forward, I think he'll get himself into a slot by the time all this is all settled, with mandatories and so forth. He'll have a real good chance of winning a world title, and I hope it's against Joshua.
What sort of timeline do you think that we are looking at if he, beats Takam again, comes through it all? How quickly do you think he will get his shot?
I don't think until next year. In the meantime, he'll fight again this year, providing he comes through Takam.
Any initial thoughts on any opponents for later this year?
Listen, let's get this one out of the way. We'll start tempting fate. He's got a job on his hands here. It's 12 fights, so it's his 13th fight, so we don't want to be trying to buck him.
There's talk about the 2016 Olympic medals being reviewed and looked into. You might have an Olympic gold medalist in the stable very soon, Frank.
Well, I thought he won it anyway. I really did feel he won it. I don't know what the investigation's about and what it involves, but obviously that'll all be decided. It's good to hear that if there is any whiff of a corruption or something went wrong, that they are actually stepping up to the plate, i.e., under their new leadership and trying to put things right if they need putting right.
Absolutely. Daniel Dubois obviously came through against Bogdan Dinu, picked up the WBA interim crown. What are the next steps with that?
I'd like to see him out sometime end of summer, early autumn, and that's what will happen.
And are you guys writing to the WBA? Are you telling them you want Trevor Bryant? Are you trying to get them to order something? How's it working?
That's what we're doing. We're trying to force the issue.
But it'd be a bit of a reunion between yourself and Don King. Would you? Is that something you'd welcome?
Yeah, we'll have a bit of fun, and no doubt there'll be a lot of things to talk about, and we'll get a good fight out of it as well for our man.
Absolutely. Speaking of good fights, Fury Wilder 3, obviously same night as Joyce Takam. They had their press conference last night. Wilder didn't really say a lot. What are your thoughts?
Well, they put the headphones on. I think he was just basically cutting everything out. I think that Tyson, in his previous 2 fights, got into his head, outdid him verbally every time, and I just don't think. I think that's his way of trying not to get involved in any verbal shenanigans before the fight. But all of that is what it is. The most important thing is going to be on the night when they get into the ring. That's when it's going to count. And he's going to, he won't be able to wear those headphones in the ring when he hears those punches whizzing over.
Well said. And what about the, I think it was 5 minutes, 23 seconds, something like that, the face-off. Have you ever seen anything like it? No,
it was all quite interesting, wasn't it, after? It was. Guinness Book of Records face-off. Another record broke. He's beaten another record he's got, Tyson Fury. He doesn't stop.
He's doing it all the time. Look, he's talking about coming in at around £300. Now, I don't know if he's joking or not, but what are your thoughts?
Look, you know, Tyson's Tyson. He'll say, he'll come in at his best fighting weight. You know, he adjusted his weight from the first fight to the second, and he'll come in at his best fighting weight. One thing about him, he's no slouch. He knows his boxing. He knows what he's got to do. And one thing's for sure, he will not be complacent.
These 5-minute face-offs, you know, trying not to look away kind of thing, this putting headphones on so you can't hear what the other guy's saying. Can any of this help Deontay Wilder on July 24th?
I'm surprised he never put his suit on as well when he wore coming to the ring. You know, but look, it is what it is. What can help him if he can change his style? Can he do it? Can Malik Scott change how he fights? You know he can punch, great puncher, but you know, is he a better boxer than Tyson? Has he got a better chin than Tyson? Well, obviously not. Tyson got up from his shots in the first round, and he couldn't take Tyson's in the second fight. Is he got a better jab? Is he a better mover? Has he got fast hands fast? No. He's a big puncher. He throws punches from very unorthodox angles, and providing Tyson doesn't get careless, you know, can't see anything else happening in the second fight. He got robbed in the first anyway.
Well, back to the UK then. Earlier that night, of course, as announced today, Joe Joyce, Carlos Takam. What can fans expect?
I think Joe's going to go out and make a statement. You know, the British fans know Takam, they've seen him. I think Joe's going to go out and make a statement in this fight. What I've seen today with him is you know, I mentioned it earlier, is his weight. He's really, you know, he's kept that under control. As he said himself, I'm quoting him, no donuts and beers. So he's obviously seen now what he needs to do and what he's capable of doing. And I think, you know, in his 13th fight coming up, he can go and do a job that make everybody really set up. I mean, they set up after the fight with Daniel, and now he can really like say, look, I'm here. I'm one of the guys.
What's the vibe been like between yourself, Sam Jones, and obviously Joe today? Because there's little tweets here and there that pop out from Sam, and it seems to be a bit of frostiness about how Daniel has been pushed since the fight. What's it been like?
Look, he was pushed more than anybody after the fight. I got him into the spot, the number 2 spot. I worked very hard to lobby and get the WBO to agree to that, and they did, based upon his performance against Daniel. So he's there, he's the mandatory. Well, how much pushing do you want? You know, not bad, is it? After 12 fights, you're suddenly, a mandatory challenger, and he was quite close to getting the Usyk fight for the interim title. But, you know, through no fault of mine, it just didn't happen. And he had to, and he couldn't fight before then, because had he had done that, and had they said, right, Usyk's now got to have a full fight in interim, they'd have gone to the next available contender. So we did what was the right thing to do, and now he's headlining a show here in the UK at Wembley. What more can you do? You know, and as for Daniel, what am I going to do? I'm going to discard him? We're with Daniel. I went out and made the best fight I could and found the best opponent I could for him to fight, and he won it in style. That's what we do. I mean, you know, I can think back to Derek Chisora. I mean, I must have gone and we didn't dump him after he got beat once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. We kept him there and kept working hard with him. That's what we try to do. We're with somebody, we're with them, and we show them loyalty. You know, if you ask me an opinion who I think's going to win a fight, if I say, I'm not too sure, you're sitting on the fence, or I'm going to upset the other one, I do that. I don't need to do that. I'll say what I feel. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not always right, but I'm entitled to my opinion, and I can't be worried about the things you're talking about, you know, tweets and all that crap that goes out and about. It means nothing to me. You know, I'm not going to base what I do in boxing on who's got the loudest voice, who thinks they got the loudest voice. I'll do it on what I look at and what I see, and I look at the ratings, what we're delivering on the TV, and how many people we get into the venues. That's what we do. It's a bit like the old saying, was it? The fight with Daniel was in the leisure centre in Telford. It was a 5,000 seat venue that we can only get 1,000 in. That's all we could do. 5,000 seater. I mean, you know, leisure centre. Come on. It's pathetic. All this stuff is just pathetic. But anyway, it is what it is, and we just move on and do what we got to do.
Final word on Obviously, you've got Daniel Dubois heading up a route, Joe Joyce heading up the WBO route. You've got a similar sort of thing going on in the super lightweight division, or so it's emerged. Jeremias Ponce, a big win over Lewis Ritson the other night.
He did. He didn't ponce around it. He went and done the business there, man. He done the business in style, and that was it. And so, we've got two guys in Jack Catterall and him in mandatories to Josh Taylor. They're great fights to be made.
Do you think these fights are going to happen? Do you see Taylor vacating and seeking ventures new?
It's going to be Josh's choice, isn't it? Josh will do what he feels he wants to do, and whatever he does, good luck to him. I mean, he's gone out and won 4 belts and went abroad to do it. I mean, he's a fabulous fighter. That was a tremendous feat. You take your hat off to him for going and doing that, and whatever he decides to do, that's going to be his choice. He's the one getting in the ring. He's the one who's looking to progress his career. But he's got 2 really good challengers there who are ready to go. And if they don't fight, if he vacates, then they'll obviously fight the next guy in for the vacant titles. I hope it's not. I hope they get their shot against Josh, because he's the best. And if you want to beat the best, you've got to beat the best.
Yeah, absolutely, Frank. I think Umar wants to cause some mischief with yourself and Joe Joyce and Sam Jones. So I'm going to let you go. Thanks for speaking to us today, and we'll see you soon.
Pleasure. All the best.